Sunday morning coming down. Yeah. Whoa.
Hi, I'm Laurie Kavanaugh. Welcome to Thayer Public Library. We're very pleased tonight to have Matt York presenting Johnny Cash Songs and Stories. This event is a featured event of the Booktober Library Crawl, which runs through Saturday, November 2nd. And it's I'm very glad that you are all here. If anyone is here for the crawl, don't forget to get your passport stamped on the next level down, on the main level. Matt York has been recently nominated for the Boston Music Award, Best Country Artist. He lives right here on the South Shore, as I'm sure many of you have heard him play before. He has traveled extensively through the years, performing both his own songs and also his Songs and Stories shows, featuring the music of the Highwaymen and now also Johnny Cash. So tonight he'll be performing Johnny Cash Songs and Stories for us. The concert tonight is funded by the Braintree Cultural Council, which is a local agency funded by the Massachusetts Cultural Council, a state agency. So we're very happy to have the support of the Braintree Cultural Council so that we can have Matt back again tonight. Thank you.
I just thanked her and leaned into a microphone that wasn't there. Howdy. I've been ungrateful, I've been unwise, restless from the cradle. Now I realize it's so hard to see the rainbow through glasses dark as these. Maybe I'll be able from now on my knees. Oh, I'm weak. Oh, I know I am vain. Ah, take this weight from me. Ah, let my spirit be unchained. Old man swearing at the sidewalk, and I'm overcome. It seems that we're both forgotten to go home. Have I seen an angel? Have I seen a ghost? Where's that rock of ages when I need it most? Oh, I'm weak. Oh, I know I'm vain. Ah, take this weight from me. Ah, let my spirit be unchained. let's start with a nice, happy one. Love, it's a burning thing. Oh, it makes a fiery ring. Bound by wild desire, I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, oh, but the flames, they went higher, and it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, oh, the ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 oh, but the flames, they went higher, and it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, oh, the ring of fire. The taste of love is sweet. Oh, when hearts like ours meet. I fell for you like a child. Oh, just the fire went wild. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 oh, but the flames, they went higher, and it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, oh, the ring of fire. Oh, burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire. Oh, 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 the ring of fire. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. My name is Matt York, and I used to live here in Braintree in the late 90s, right on Franklin Street. And my daughter is a senior in high school at Archbishop Williams, so I spend a lot of time watching volleyball in Braintree. I just want to tell one community concert story before I start. So my mother owned a home on Franklin Street, and my sister was in college, and I was doing the full-time musician, poor guy that you didn't want your daughter to date thing. And my mother got remarried, and so she moved out of that house. And so my sister and I were like 24 and 20, and we took over this big house, and with a bunch of knucklehead friends. And I had a very popular band in Boston that was a very noisy, loud rock and roll band in the late 90s, and we did an awful lot of cool stuff together. And I would go to Sunset Lake, and they would have the summer concert series at Sun Lake. They'd have like jazz bands or whatever. So I had this idea. I was like, I'm just gonna send in an album. I burned a CD of jazz music, and I said, I live here in Pembroke, and I live here in Braintree, and I'd love to come and be a part of your concert series. And they booked us. And the whole plan was then we were gonna just show up and just freak out all the older people that were gonna be there and just play noisy rock and roll. And we had a whole crew all ready to go, and then it poured, and it didn't happen. That is a true story, folks. The other night, dear, as I lay asleep, I dreamed I held you in my arms. When I awoke, dear, I was mistaken. So I bowed my head and I cried. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when the skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. and made you happy. Oh, nothing else could come between. But now you've left me to find another. You've shattered all of my dreams. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when the skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Please don't take my sunshine away. Please don't take my sunshine away. Thank you very much. Thank you. Johnny Cash passed away 21 years ago. He was 71 years old when he died. He died 4 months after June Carter passed away. And both of them had been in failing health for the last few years of their life. I love doing the songs of Cash because he just has these different chapters of his career. You know, he starts out on Sun Records with Elvis and Carl Perkins and Jerry Lee Lewis, and then he meets, I mean, some of his very first concerts were as the opening act for Elvis in the 1950s. So that's a way to kind of get started. And in the 60s, he meets June, he gets married, he puts out the Folsom Prison album and San Quentin album. He has this very influential television show on ABC in the late 60s and early 70s. And then between 1972 and 1985, Cash only had one top 10 hit. His career had really faded. He was small, playing really small venues. He was doing a lot of acting at the time. And the Highwaymen came together in 1985, which is how I started doing this thing in the first place. Is I initially did the songs of the Highwaymen a few years back. And you know, then he had this other dip in his career in the early 90s, and then he makes the 5 beautiful albums at the end of his life with Rick Rubin. So I'm going to touch on each one of those chapters a little bit tonight. This is Sunday Morning Coming Down. It was written by the great, late Chris Christopherson. Well, I woke up Sunday morning with no way to hold my head that didn't hurt. Oh, the beer I had for breakfast, it wasn't bad, so I had one more for dessert. Then I fumbled in my closet, through my clothes, found my cleanest dirty shirt. Washed my face and combed my hair, stumbled down the stairs to meet the day. I'd smoked my mind the night before with cigarettes and songs that I'd been picking. But I lit my first and I watched a small kid playing with a can that he was kicking. Then I walked across the street and I caught the Sunday smell of someone frying chicken. Oh, it took me back to something that I lost somewhere, somehow along the way. On a Sunday morning sidewalk, I'm wishing, Lord, that I was stoned. Oh, there's something in a Sunday that'll make your body feel alone. Yeah, there's nothing sure to die half as lonesome as the sound of a sleeping city sidewalk. Sunday morning coming down. In the park I saw a daddy with a laughing little girl that he was swinging. And I stopped beside a Sunday school. I listened to the songs that they were singing. Then I headed down the street, and somewhere far away a lonely bell was loud echo through the canyons, like our disappearing dreams of yesterday. On a Sunday morning sidewalk, I'm wishing, Lord, that I was stoned. Ah, there's something in a Sunday that'll make your body feel wrong. Yeah, there's nothing short of dying, half as lonesome as the sound of a sleeping city sidewalk. Sunday morning coming down. Yeah. Whoa. Whoa. Thank you so much. This is my third gig of the day. I started out in Grafton, Massachusetts this morning, and I was supposed to do a concert at a library there, and then something happened to the meeting room, so they had to move it, and so they moved it to the senior center there, and but apparently nobody at the senior center really knew that that was happening. So I showed up, and there was a nurse there, and she was just giving blood pressure to everybody. So I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to get paid either way. I might as well just start doing something, you know? And so I started just playing classical music while people got their, while they got their, they did well, and I did well. I had my little card. I did terrific. I was, as my doctor likes to say, you're in pretty good shape for an overweight guy. Someone once called me a plus-sized version of Chris Christopherson, and I took that as a compliment. So then I went to Worcester, and now I'm here. And thank you for Lori to setting this up and allowing me to come here, and the Cultural Council here, and the Cable folks for recording this, because I love when Cable comes and does these things, because it just really extends the reach of these things. Especially a lot of people that come to my concerts are older and they don't drive at night as much and stuff like that. So I'm kind of good cable content. So thank you for for coming and doing that. This is a song that was a big hit for Cash. I'm not sure it's a song that people think of when they hear it by him, but it's a beautiful, beautiful song. It's called Guess Things Happen That Way. Well, you ask me if I'll forget my baby. I guess I will someday. I don't like it, but I guess things happen that way. Oh, you ask me if I'll get along. I guess I will some way. I don't like it, but I guess things happen that way. God gave me that girl to lean on, then he put me on. Heaven help me be a man and have the strength to stand alone. I don't like it, but I guess things happen that way. Oh, you ask me if I'll miss her kisses. I guess I will every day. I don't like it, but I guess things happen that way. Oh, you ask me if I'll find another. I don't know, I can't say. I don't like it, I guess things happen that way. God gave me that girl to lean on, then he put me on. Heaven help me be a man and have the strength to stand alone. I don't like it, but I guess things happen that way. I don't like it, but I guess things happen that way. I don't like it, but I guess things happen that way. Thank you very much. I mentioned I was in Grafton this morning. And 2 nights ago, I was at the Cambridge Public Library, which is right in Harvard Square, and it's just a gorgeous auditorium. It's just beautiful. And They have a nice stage, and it's just very, very nice. And the woman that was helping me at the library, she's like, you know, she's like, I've introduced a bunch of people that have won the Nobel Prize that have spoken here before, but I don't think I've ever had anybody sing country music here before. But so that was very nice. But then this morning I'm in Grafton, and I have a table like this, and the rest of the table, like where my guitar case and stuff is, was just food that Stop and Shop had dropped off because it was expired, like from their bakery. And so I was just sitting there singing Ring of Fire, and people would just come up and grab, like, you know, cupcakes. So yeah, every day is different. Every day is different. I hear the train a-comin', it's rolling round the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since, well, I don't know when. Well, I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, all the time keeps dragging on, but that train keeps on rolling on down to San Antonio. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with guns. Well, I shot a man in Reno, oh, just to watch him die. When I hear that whistle blow, I hang my head and I cry. I bet there's rich folks here from a fancy dining car, probably drinking coffee with, smoking big cigars. Well, I know I had it coming, I know I can't be free. But those people keep on moving, and that's what tortures me. Well, if they freed me from this prison, and if that railroad train was mine, guess I'd move it on a little further down the line. If I was Folsom Prison, that's where I want to stay. Oh, and I let that lonesome whistle blow my blues away. Thank you very much. Thank you. Johnny Cash used to say that people would come up to him all the time and say, "My father was in prison with you," which didn't seem like too much of a stretch, probably. I'm going to do a song next by Merle Haggard. And if you're not a big fan of country music or not all that familiar with Merle, from basically the ages of about 12 to 13 to 21 or so, Merle Haggard was locked up in juvenile lockups and then adult prisons as he grew older. And he was just trouble. His dad died when he was a 9-year-old kid. He grew up super poor in Bakersfield, California. And he wasn't a violent guy. He wasn't a drug addict. He was the 14-year-old kid that would steal your car and smash it into a tree, get sent to a juvenile lockup, break out of there and disappear. And he was just trouble. And by the time he was 21, he ended up in San Quentin prison. And while he was there, Johnny Cash came and played a concert. And he saw Cash and he thought, you know, when I get out of here, I think I'll just go become Johnny Cash. That seems to be a pretty good job. And Merle Haggard would go on to have over 30 number one hits on the country charts. He had twice as many number one hits as Johnny Cash did. Emmylou Harris used to say about Merle Haggard that whenever people ask her what real country music sounds like, she said, go grab a Merle Haggard record. It doesn't matter. Grab any Merle Haggard record. Throw it on the record player. Grab the needle. Drop it anywhere on the record. That's what real country music sounds like. And it's a funny thing in this day and age where you can come see fake Johnny Cash guy and you can grab a business card and sign my mailing list or whatever, and you can know where I will be and where I've been and so forth. And but back in the day, you could get out of San Quentin prison and then be on the Grand Ole Opry a year or two later, and nobody knew where you came from. And Merle knew that was going to be a problem as his star continued to ascend, you know. And so he told Johnny Cash about it and the circumstances. And Cash told him he really thought that he should come out and tell the truth. And he went on the Johnny Cash show on ABC, and he did that. Cash interviewed him, and he talked about it. And I think it was a huge moment in country music because Merle wasn't glamorizing crime or he was talking about the people that he met along the way. He was talking about the downtrodden, the addicted, the poor, and I think once he did that, he had so many other people come along that started writing like him because they just admired his writing so much. They call him the poet of the working man. This song is called "Swingin' Doors," which is one of my favorite songs of all time. This old smoke-filled bar, it's something that I'm not used to. But I gave up my home to see you satisfied. And I just called to let you know where I'll be living. It's not much, but I feel welcome here inside. I've got swinging doors, a jukebox, and a bar stool. And my new home has a flashing neon sign. Stop by and see me anytime you want to, 'cause I'm always here at home till closing time. I've got everything I need to drive me crazy. I've got everything I need to lose my mind. And then here the atmosphere's just right for heartache. And thanks to you, I'm always here till closing time. I've got swinging doors, a jukebox, and a bar stool. And my new home has a flashing neon sign. Stop by and see me anytime you want to, 'cause I'm always here at home till closing time. 'Cause I'm always here at home till closing time. Thank you very much. Thank you. The great Merle Haggard. So I started doing this really in earnest a few years back. The Highwaymen, if you're not a big fan of country music, were Waylon Jennings, Chris Christopherson, Johnny Cash, and the great Willie Nelson. And they'd all been huge influences on me as a kid growing up, and I've always loved, Willie's my all-time favorite. And so I was doing a whole bunch of concerts where I'd go down south and do my own music, and I still do that. And I just felt like a lot of my heroes were kind of being forgotten with time. You know, not Cash, not Willie, but you know, the Merle Haggards, the Patsy Clines, the Loretta Lynn's, folks like that. And so I started doing this thing where I wrote a book about the Highwaymen. I was a newspaper writer when I was a younger person, and I started doing it. And 2 years ago, I did 175 of these concerts, and I went from as far north as Toronto to as far south as Nashville. Last year I did 180 of these concerts, and then this year I don't even know, but a lot. The answer is a lot. And I love it, I truly do. And there are days when I could fit the entire audience into my Honda Accord and comfortably. About 6 weeks ago, I played in front of 2,000 people in Boston. So it truly varies every week. And you know, the songs of Cash are really, it's an amazing thing doing his songs, because it's amazing just how many people his music has touched, and from all walks of life. And you know, he really was just this unique character. And this song is a song that he wrote in the 50s and had a hit with in the 50s. And then the Highwaymen came along in 1985. They made 3 albums. This was from the first album. The song's called Big River. I've taught the weeping willow how to cry, cry, cry. And I showed the clouds how to cover up a clear blue sky. The tears I cried for that woman, well, they're gonna flood you, big river. Oh, I'm gonna sit right here until I die. I met her accidentally in St. Paul, Minnesota. Oh, tore me up every time I heard her drawl, southern drawl. Heard my dream was back down the street, cavorting Davenport. And I followed you, big river, when you call. Oh, you took me to St. Louis, later on down the river. The freighter said she's been there, but she's gone, boy, she's gone. I found her trail in Memphis. Oh, she just walked up the bluff. She raised a few eyebrows and she went on down alone. Now won't you batter down my Baton Rouge, River Queen, roll it on. Take that woman on down to New Orleans, New Orleans. Go on out, and if I've done my blues down in the jungle, she loves you, big river, more than me. I taught the weeping willow how to cry, cry, cry. And I showed the clouds how to cover up a clear blue sky. Tears I cried for that woman, well, they're gonna flood you, big river. Oh, I'm gonna sit right here until I die. Well, I'm gonna sit right here until I die. Well, I'm gonna sit right here until I die. Thank you. Thank you very much. You know, I mentioned these kind of different ebbs and flows in Cash's career, and around 1993 or so, he was playing at a supper club out in California to about 300 people that were just sitting there eating steak, and Johnny was singing "Ring of Fire" for him. And one of the people in attendance that night was Rick Rubin, the great music producer, and he really didn't like what he saw. And for those of you that may not be familiar with Rick Rubin, he is responsible for producing a whole bunch of the really great rap and hip hop albums of the 80s and the 90s, but has worked with everybody, Tom Petty, U2, just everybody. And he was on 60 Minutes not too long ago, so he's got like a beard like you. He's got the big, he looks very friendly, very zen. but it's got the ZZ Top vibe too. And so he went over to Cash and he said, listen, I want to make the best album that you've ever made before. And he said, Cash kind of looked at him like, I'm Johnny Cash. I made at Folsom Prison, you know. But they began this partnership that began then and continued until Cash's passing 10 years later. You know, they made 5 albums from those American Recordings albums, and many of those songs were not songs that Cash wrote. He was just a lover of songs and really great at picking out songs that, you know, he wasn't too proud to do songs that weren't his own. He really did a whole bunch of other people's songs. And Rick Rubin was the same way. He's just a music nerd, and they just swap tapes, swap CDs of different suggestions that they had for each other. And you know, for an awful lot of people, you know, 50 and under, that's the Johnny Cash they think of is the guy that was there, who won a bunch of Grammys, and those albums are outstanding albums. And so this is probably the most well-known song. It's a song that was originally done by Trent Reznor and 9 Inch Nails. It's called Hurt. I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain, the only thing that's real. The needle tears a hole, the old familiar stain. Try to kill it all away, but I remember everything. What have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end. And you could have it all, my empire of dirt. I will let you down, I will make you hurt. I wear this crown of thorns upon my liar's chair, full of broken thoughts I cannot repair. Beneath the stains of time, the feeling disappears. You are someone else, I'm still right here. What have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end. And you could have it all, my empire of dirt. I will let you down, I will make you hurt. If I can start again 1,000,000 miles away, I would keep myself, I would find a way. Nice cheery one for you. We're gonna bring it up even more than that now. You ready? We're gonna If you feel like crying tonight, go on YouTube and just type in Johnny Cash and Hurt and watch that video. And some of you are shaking your head because you've seen the video, but it's basically this just montage of different videos of him throughout his career. And at the end, he's holding June in his dining room. And I believe by the time the video came out, June had already passed away. But they were right at end of life, and it's a really beautiful but powerful video. This is a happy, upbeat song about going to jail. On a Monday, I was arrested on a Tuesday, they locked me in the jail. On a Wednesday, my trial was attested. On a Thursday, they said guilty as the judge's gavel fell. I've got stripes, stripes around my shoulders. Oh, I've got chains, chains around my feet. Oh, I've got stripes, stripes around my shoulders. Oh, them chains, they're about to drag me down. On a Monday, I got my striped breeches. On a Tuesday, I got my ball and chain. On a Wednesday, I'm working digging ditches. On a Thursday, Lord, I begged them not to knock me down again. I've got stripes, stripes around my shoulders. Oh, I've got chains, chains around my feet. Oh, I've got stripes, stripes around my shoulders. Oh, them chains, they're about to drag me down. On a Monday, my mama came to see me. On a Tuesday, they caught me with a file. On a Wednesday, I'm down in solitary. On a Thursday, Lord, I begged them for a while. I've got stripes, stripes around my shoulders. Oh, I've got chains, chains around my feet. Oh, I've got stripes, stripes around my shoulders. And them chains, they're about to drag me down. Thank you. I spend an inordinate amount of time out in Western Massachusetts. And, I play all the little, over the summer, I do all the little summer concert series in all the different towns out in the Berkshires and stuff, and I love it. It's one of the coolest things about in the summer, my kids live with their mother, and I'm just gone all the time, and then it's kind of good, because like this time of year I can be home and be around for soccer games and stuff. Not today, but generally I can. There was a reason I was telling that story, and I don't remember what it was, and so I'm just going to transition, because I'm a pro, folks, and just watch how this is going to go. We're just going to move right on. I was down in Nashville about a year and a half ago, and I got to play at a really great listening room down there called City Winery. And there's a City Winery in Boston that I've played a few times as well. And I've played Nashville a bunch of times through the years doing my own music, but I had not gone down there to do the songs of the Highwaymen. And so it was a big opportunity for me, and I was very nervous there would be nobody there when I went and played. City Winery is the old Sears Roebuck building, and it's right in downtown, right by the Country Music Hall of Fame, and it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous room, and it was packed, and it was one of the greatest nights I ever had in music. But I didn't know that was going to happen until like 5 minutes before I walked out. I got to do the morning show down in there on NBC called Today in Nashville, the television show down there, and perform a couple of songs. And I had done that show twice. I had done that show before, doing my own music, and I knew it was a very good way to get the word out, because one of the hard things about trying to get people to come to shows in Nashville is you don't know, you're playing to tourists, so it's hard to predict who's going to be there, and so the onus is really on the club to get people to come out, because you can't put Facebook ads and targeted for people that you don't know are going to be there. So and so I got to go on it, but because I didn't have written permission from the artist, I couldn't do any of the songs that I normally would have wanted to do. And so, but I wanted to do something that tied into those concerts. So if a song is over 100 years old, it goes into the public domain, and then anybody can do whatever they want with that song. And so I did the song Will the Circle Be Unbroken, which was written in 1908. And I fell in love with that song, and Johnny Cash has made 5 gospel albums, and Willie's made 3. And I just went into this real deep dive of listening to not just their records, but a whole bunch of other artists. And I'm in the process right now of recording a gospel album that I'm having a lot of fun putting together. That's kind of my winter project right now. But this song is a song that both Willie and Cash have done. It's called Peace in the Valley. Well, I'm tired and I'm weary, but I must go alone till the Lord comes and calls me away. For the morning's so bright, the Lamb is the light, and the night is fair as the bay. Oh, there'll be peace in the valley for me someday. There'll be peace in the valley for me. Ah, there'll be no sadness, no sorrow, no troubles I see. There'll be peace in the valley for me. Well, the flowers will be blooming, the grass will be green, and the skies will be clear and serene. Where the sun ever beams in this valley of dreams, and no clouds will ever be seen. There'll be peace in the valley for me. Someday there'll be peace in the valley for me. There'll be no sadness, no sorrow, no troubles I see. There'll be peace in the valley for me. Well, the bear will be gentle, the wolf will be tame, and the lion shall lay down by the lamb. The beast from the wild shall be led by a child, and I'll be changed from this creature that I am. There'll be peace in the valley for me. Someday there'll be peace in the valley for me. There'll be no sadness, no sorrow, no troubles I see. There'll be peace in the valley for me. There'll be peace in the valley for me. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I do want to just talk for a second about Chris Christopherson, because Cash played such a big role in his career, and I had a funny thing happen. So a couple weeks ago, when Christopherson died, they announced it on a Sunday, and on a Monday, I get a phone call from the NPR affiliate in Los Angeles, and they want to do a segment with me and this woman that's a dean of music in Nashville. And I didn't know how that they found me, but I was like, sure, I love talking about Chris Christopherson, so that'd be fun. And so I got my little studio, my microphone hooked up in my bedroom, and I did it. And the lady had the the Boston NPR, they have that great NPR voice, but when you're Los Angeles, that's even a little higher level of perfect NPR voice. So much so that like within 30 seconds, I found myself doing the kind of quiet voice as well. And but it was a really awesome thing, because the lady that was in Nashville was way smarter than I was, and she had a lot of interesting things to say about Chris. But he comes to Nashville after he was a Rhodes Scholar that studied at Oxford. He was a pilot in the military. He was a Golden Gloves boxer. He had this incredible pedigree, and moves to to Nashville, and he takes a job as a custodian down there at a recording studio with the hopes that he can get his songs into the folks that like Johnny Cash, and it worked. And Sunday Morning Coming Down, which I played earlier, you know, when you get to the end of that song, it feels like you've read the screenplay to just, you know, one of the greatest movies of all time. But, you know, how he's able to just concisely, every single word is perfect, and it all fits into this 3.5-minute song. And both Willie and Dylan have talked about how there was Nashville prior to Chris's arrival, and then there was Nashville afterwards, because of the depth of his lyrics and just the content that he was writing about. You know, nothing sounded like that before, and Cash immediately recognized it and really helped him in a huge way. Sunday Morning Coming Down was the Country Music Song of the Year in 1971, and that was a real springboard for Cash, for Christopherson rather. Me and Bobby McGee came out not long thereafter. So this is a song that Ray Price made famous. It's called For the Good Times. Don't look so sad. I know it's over. Life goes on. This old world will keep on turning. Let's just be glad we had some time to spend together. There's no need to watch the bridges that will burn. Lay your head upon my pillow. Hold your warm and tender body close to mine. Hear the whisper of the raindrops blowing soft against the window. Make believe you love me one more time. For the good time, I'll get along. You'll find another, and I'll be here. You should find you ever need me. Don't say a word about tomorrow or forever. There'll be time enough for sadness when you leave me. Lay your head upon my pillow. Hold your warm and tender body close to mine. Hear the whisper of the raindrops blowing soft against the window. I'll make believe you love me one more time. For the good time, for the good times. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm going to do one more song for you. I want to thank you guys for coming. I want to thank Lori for having me back. The last time we were here, we had a really small turnout, so I appreciate her thinking that it might not be terrible a second time, and I hope that you feel that way. I have stuff up here if you want stuff. I got books, I got CDs, I got business cards, I got a mailing list, I got all those things. And if any of those things intrigue you, feel free to come up. I am everywhere. That's all I do is this, and so I do a lot of versions where right now I've been doing a ton of Willie Nelson. I just finished writing a book about Willie over the last winter that's coming out this fall, and so I'm everywhere doing Willie right now. And then in December I become Christmas guy, full on same deal, but I sing Silent Night instead of Folsom Prison. Tell the history of the songs, you know. Kind of just do the like kind of sing. And so it's twangy, but it's not like country at all. It's just the way I sound. I'm gonna read this quote, Bob Dylan on Johnny Cash. Truly he is what the land and country is all about, the heart and soul of it personified and what it means to be here. And he said it all in plain English. I think we can have recollections of him, but we can't define him any more than we can define a fountain of truth, light, and beauty. And I love that quote. As I was saying earlier, it's amazing just how many people Cash touches. And I play to a lot of older audiences, and I mentioned to them that if they have grandkids in their 20s, they love Johnny Cash the same way. I mean, I play tons of bars, and I play Ring of Fire on a Friday night at 11 o'clock. Your drunken grandson is having a good time, you know, and he's singing along to that song the same way you did and the same way your kids did. And it's a really wild thing to see, and Willie's the same way. It continues. And, you know, I played these songs in some of the poorest parts of the Smoky Mountains, just desperate poverty. I've played them at yacht clubs down the Cape, and it doesn't matter. The reach of his songs is just such a unique thing. And, you know, I think maybe Springsteen comes close to having that ability of reaching such a broad swath of people, but I don't think that there's anybody. You know, you can love. I love Bob Dylan as much as anybody, but you know, when it's 85 degrees and the top's down in your car, you're not thinking of blasting a Dylan song usually, right? You know, you're thinking of, you know, it's heavy listening, and but you know, and there's plenty of that with Cash, but there's also, you know, I Got Stripes too. So I thank you all very much for listening. Johnny Cash wrote this about his first wife, Vivian Cash. They had 4 daughters right after he became famous, like right in a row. And this song was about how he was staying faithful to her despite being out on the road all the time with Elvis. And then he met June Carter and he left her. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the diamond lines. Because you're mine, I walk the line. I find it very, very easy to be true. I find myself alone when each day is through. Oh, I'll admit I'm a fool for you. Because you're mine, I want the light. As sure as night is dark and day is light, I keep you on my mind both day and night. Oh, happiness I know proves that it's right. Because you're mine, I walk the line. You've got a way to keep me on your side. You give me cause for love that I can't hide. For you I know I'd even try to turn the tide. Because you're mine, I walk the line. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine.
I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ears out for the kind of night. Because you're mine, I walk the line. 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 Ooh. Good night, folks. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. Thank you very much. Half as lonesome as the sound of a sleeping city sidewalk. Sunday morning coming down